Welcome to my kitchen. This isn't a stage set and it's not a studio, this is my home. And I wanted to take you to a product that I use regularly, which is Bariani Olive Oil. Bariani Olive Oil is made in the Sacramento area of California. It's been made that way for years by the Mariani family. Great folks, really just great integrity and fantastic family. But this oil is pretty special. It's made out of Mission and Manzanillo olives. And they make it right there on the farm. They actually grow the olives, they harvest the olives, they press the olives, and they bottle all on site, which is unusual. Most farmers in the California area, and for that matter, most parts around the world, will harvest the olives and then take them to a different place to have the oil harvested. These guys do it all on site. They produce a very high quality oil that's really high in polyphenols. You've probably heard polyphenols thrown around a lot. That's the anti-inflammatory components of olives. And this particular one, the one with the gold label, is going to be higher in polyphenols than the white label. Okay, this is what's called an early harvest. Mariani makes two different oils. They make the early harvest and the regular harvest. A lot of folks that have never really had true olive oil because they've been buying old oil in the store for years, and oftentimes that oil is cut with soybean oil or vegetable oils and flavored with olive flavoring. You can check out the New Yorker article that happened a number of years ago about the fraud in the olive oil industry. It's pretty crazy and pretty disappointing, unfortunately. But Bariani's early harvest is picked when the olives are still green. That means that the olives haven't fully matured. And as a result, there's a higher concentration of polyphenols in it, and also higher chlorophyll content. I'm going to show you what that actually looks like here, because when you take this white spoon and you pour the olive oil into it, there's a green tint to the oil. I don't know if you can see that here on camera, but that green content is the actual chlorophyll and the polyphenols in there. Now this gives it, when you take a teaspoon of oil like this and you put it into you put it in your mouth, it'll have kind of a bitter taste to it, and it'll make you almost need to cough to a certain degree. And that coughing is it's one way you know whether or not it's actual legit olive oil. It's not a guarantee, but it's certainly a good indicator. It's almost like a peppery kind of consistency. So an early harvest will have more of that than a later harvest would, like the white label product. So if you're really in this for your health, figure out how to like the early harvest. It's better for you. It's not that much more expensive, and probably pay out well for you as well in the long term. If you're trying to incorporate olive oil in your diet, take some, drizzle on top of your food a couple times a day. Really boost it up. It's great for you. You really enjoy it. And a great family. Also, one thing to point out here, with olive oil does not get better with age. Olive oil gets worse with age. So on the bottle, it'll say harvest date. This says October 2016. Underneath, it'll say bottling date. This says July 25th of 2017. Okay. Just to be very clear here, you can only harvest olives one time a year. That's in the fall in Sacramento. So kind of that October to November, what the weather's doing is really kind of the ideal time. So this is harvested at the early part of the season, and then the later part of the harvest is clearly the white label. The reason it's not bottled until that is that they keep it actually in a stainless steel vessel that protects it from any oxidation or anything of that sort up until the last minute when they're ready to bottle it and ship it. So don't worry that it's been sitting around for, in this month, this situation, 9 months. It hasn't been. It's been protected and preserved as long as possible. And you don't want to order more olive oil than really will last you about a year. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But always check the date on your olive oil. If it doesn't have a date, it's pretty much kind of a sure thing that it's not going to be a high quality olive oil in the first place. Lower quality oils, not only are they not 100% olives, they're typically very low in polyphenol. This particular oil typically comes in somewhere between 500 and 700 on parts per million on polyphenol content. That's pretty high. It's very high. You may find a legitimate olive oil that only has 100 to 150 in comparison with that. And that will do very little from a polyphenol benefit standpoint for your health. Cheap oils in the supermarket that have been adulterated, cut with other oils, for that matter, the olives are often overripe. Think of olives sitting out in the sun in a hot climate where they're turning rancid before the oil's processed the right way and protected. Not a good idea. Taking those oils into your body can really wreak havoc on your health as well. So pick a great oil. As far as bang for the buck, this is the best one I know of. And when you call the folks at Bariani, make sure you say hi to Emmanuel from Brian over at renewedhealth.com. If you don't know us, check out renewedhealth.com. We're the purveyors of really high quality, super high quality supplements. We'd love to talk with you. If you ever have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Thanks again and have a great week.